Alright, super quick topic for this video. It's Levi here, and we are talking about the alto clef today. And this one scares people. So I have a viola here, and you may ask why I have a viola. Well, it's because viola music is very often written in the alto clef. And so for the majority of us who are either bass clef or treble clef, this one scares us, but it's not as bad as you think. So this note right here, well, actually I just remembered you can't see my mouse. So this note that I have here in blue is actually C4. So if you remember from our last video where I talked about how that's the bridge between the treble clef and the bass clef, well, here it is on the alto clef. And so what do you notice? Well, it's one higher than the bass clef and it's one lower than the treble clef. So real quick, here's our line and space notes. So we have F, A, C, E, G, right? G, B, D, F. Alright, super easy. Super easy. Okay, so now let's talk about our ledger lines in both directions, and don't worry about this one here being in red. So if you're a little stuck on the ledger lines, if you tried to do it in your head and you're a little stuck, just remember that this is C, so exactly an octave above also has to be C. So if this is C, then we have B, A, D. And then again, we also have C here. This is C3. So that was C5. This was C5, and this was C4, C3, B, D, and E. So you probably won't need to have alto clef very often. There's a few situations where it's useful. For instance, perhaps you're a bassoon player watching this, and the bassoon parts are sometimes written in alto clef or even tenor clef, which we're not going to have a video on, but tenor clef, let me see if I can find tenor clef real quick just for the purpose of showing you. So tenor clef, sometimes they would use that as well, or even soprano clef. Where is soprano clef? There's soprano clef. And in choral music you can see these things. So you know, there's different uses. Alto clef was probably the third most common clef, and I would consider it to be the third of the three major clefs. So that's why we went over it today, and now we will get going with rhythm in the next video.